Look up at the night sky. It is a vast and silent ocean, filled with countless points of light. Each star is a distant sun, a colossal furnace burning across unimaginable gulfs of space and time. The light from these stars has traveled for thousands, even millions of years, to reach your eyes. It feels ancient, it feels real, it feels solid. But what if this grand cosmic spectacle is not quite what it seems? What if the very fabric of reality is more like a beautiful, intricate illusion? This is a quiet, unsettling thought. It asks us to question the most fundamental thing we know: the world itself. We experience the world through our senses. We see light and shadow. We hear sound and silence. We feel the warmth of the sun and the texture of a stone. From this stream of sensory information, our brain constructs a model, a picture of the world. This internal picture is so detailed, so consistent, and utterly convincing. We move through it, interact with it, live our entire lives within it. But it is crucial to remember. It is a model, a biological interpretation, a story told by our neurons to help us survive and make sense. A red flower is not inherently red. Its surface absorbs some wavelengths and reflects others which travel to your eyes. Your brain creates the experience of red. A bee perceives ultraviolet patterns invisible to us. Which is the true color? The sound of a bell is vibrations traveling through a medium our ears detect and our brain interprets as tone and timbre. Outside, the world is silent and colorless, vibrating atoms and electromagnetic fields. All the richness and beauty of experience is painted on our consciousness. Our brain is not a passive window. It is an active artist, creating the masterpiece we call real. That does not diminish the world. It makes it personal, intimate. Each of us lives in a slightly different universe, a unique construction inside our minds. Consider the simple, everyday experience of looking into a mirror. You see your own face, your own eyes looking back at you. The image is a perfect replica. It moves when you move. It smiles when you smile. A young child reaches out to touch the other child in the mirror, confused by the illusion, then learns the face is not inside the glass. It is just a reflection, an image created by light bouncing off a smooth surface. The mirror teaches how perception can be fooled. Reality might be a far more sophisticated kind of mirror. Now, think about a dream. The dream world feels completely real. You can feel joy, terror, love, loss. You can touch objects that feel solid, have conversations with people who seem independent, cross landscapes that feel vast. The feelings in a dream are real feelings. Your heart can race. You can wake with tears, yet the dream evaporates. It was an elaborate construction of your mind, a simulation running on neural hardware with no external physical existence. If our mind creates such convincing illusions nightly, we must ask, how can we be certain awake reality is not another kind of dream? More persistent, more consistent, more widely shared, but a dream nonetheless. Our journey into the nature of reality takes a strange and profound turn when we leave the world of our everyday senses and venture into the realm of the very small. This is the world of quantum physics, the science that describes the behavior of atoms and the particles they are made of. Here, the familiar rules cease to apply. The solid, predictable reality dissolves into a shimmering, uncertain dance of possibilities. Rather than tiny, solid balls, fundamentals behave as both particles and waves. A particle of light can act like a discrete pellet in one experiment, and a continuous wave in another. It is as if the nature of the thing is not fixed until we decide how to measure it. Because they are waves, particles can exist in a superposition, in multiple places, or multiple states, at the same time. It is not ignorance. The particle is smeared across possibilities, a wave of probability that chooses a location only when it interacts. This defies classical intuition. We imagine a chair sits there whether we look or not, with definite properties at all times. But quantum mechanics suggests that, fundamentally, reality is not so definite. Before observation, the universe exists as overlapping possibilities. the certain world we see appears to emerge from an underlying quantum fuzziness. The building blocks of reality are not solid bricks, but shimmering ghosts. Well, that is where the story deepens. The strange nature of the quantum world leads us to one of the most debated ideas in science: the role of the observer. In classical physics, the world we study is separate from us. We can measure an orbit or a ball's path without changing them. We are passive spectators. But in the quantum realm, this separation vanishes. The act of measuring appears to help determine what is actually there. The observer is no longer a spectator. They are a participant in the creation of reality. This is the measurement problem. A particle exists as a wave of possibilities, a superposition. Yet when measured, we find it in one definite place. Measurement seems to collapse possibility into concreteness. Does a tree falling in a forest make a sound if no one is there to hear it? Quantum physics gives the riddle a sharp edge. Perhaps tree, fall, and sound exist as probabilities until an interaction records them. The world might be waiting for us to look in order to decide what to be. We must be careful here. Most physicists do not think human consciousness collapses the wave function. The observer may be any interaction with a larger classical system that records information, yet the implications remain potent. The line between subject and object becomes blurry. Reality is not a pre-written book we simply read. It may be a story co-authored by observation. We cast a long shadow over the world we seek to understand. That is the strange and, well, provocative place we find ourselves. As physics deepens and technology advances, a new and startling metaphor emerges. It takes the strangeness of quantum mechanics and pushes it to its ultimate conclusion. What if our entire universe is a simulation, from the grandest galaxies to the smallest particles? What if we live inside an incredibly advanced program, and our reality is its output? This is known as the simulation hypothesis. At first, it sounds like science fiction, yet serious thinkers consider it. As computing power grows, we build simulated worlds, video games, scientific models, virtual realities. A future civilization could run ancestor simulations indistinguishable from reality, perhaps billions of them. If countless simulated worlds exist, it may be more likely we are in one of the simulations than in the single base reality. Some note a kind of resolution limit in nature, a smallest unit of length, time, and energy: the Planck scale. Below it, space-time breaks down, like pixels when you zoom in too far. The fixed, consistent laws of physics can be seen as algorithms of the simulation. The universe looks suspiciously like it runs on code. Why is light speed a universal limit? Perhaps it is the processor speed of the cosmic computer. Why observation and probability? Perhaps efficient rendering. Reality computed when and where needed, saving resources. This reframes the universe not as stuff, but as information. The most fundamental layer would not be matter and energy, but data being processed. The idea that reality might be an illusion is not new. It is one of the most ancient questions in philosophy. For thousands of years, thinkers and mystics from many cultures have wondered what lies behind appearance. Plato told of prisoners in a cave, seeing only shadows on a wall. Freed into sunlight, the true world first seems less real than the familiar shadows. We can name and study shadows, yet still mistake a shadow play for truth. In Eastern traditions, Maya is the deceptive veil of names and forms. The world is not entirely unreal, but it hides a deeper reality, a unified consciousness, or ultimate truth. These ancient images resonate with modern simulation talk, though they are philosophies, not science. They remind us our senses can be deceived and our common sense may be limited. They encourage humility and a willingness to question deep assumptions. This haunting suspicion, that reality is not what it seems, connects our scientific age to the dawn of thought. To entertain the idea of illusion, simulation, or dream can be disorienting, as if solid ground turns to mist. If the world is not real, Does anything matter? Does our suffering, our joy, our love have meaning? A story can move us to tears. Music can give transcendent joy. A film can teach us courage and compassion, not objectively real, yet their effects in us are real. Our consciousness gives weight and significance. If we live in a simulation, our love is still love, our pain still pain, the sunset still beauty. These are the substance of our lives. Perhaps purpose is found within experience itself, the meaning of the game in the playing, regardless of the engine. If the universe has rules like code, doing science discovers that code. Creating art and forming relationships are our most meaningful moves within the system. So we are left here, under the silent stars, with a question that echoes through the ages. Is the world real, or is it a brilliant and elaborate illusion? Science gives clues. The ghostly dance of quantum particles, the strange role of the observer, the mathematical elegance of physical laws. Philosophy gives metaphors, the shadow play in the cave, the veil of Maya, the possibility of a dream. We do not have a final answer. We may never have one. The universe does not offer its deepest secrets easily. This uncertainty is not a failure. It is an invitation to remain curious, to keep looking, to never accept that we have the complete picture. It pushes us to learn more, to build better telescopes, to devise cleverer experiments, and to think more deeply. The mystery is the engine of discovery. It gives purpose to our science and depth to our art. We can choose how to live with uncertainty. Let it frighten us, or let it inspire awe and humility. Cherish experience, value consciousness, and see beauty, whatever the ultimate nature. The crack in a teacup, the light on a drop of water, the shared glance. Small moments gain new significance against the great cosmic mystery. Look up at the sky one last time. The stars offer no answers. They just shine, their ancient light falling across space and time to meet your eyes. They hold the question in their silent, glittering expanse. Perhaps the reality of the universe is not a statement to be proven, but a question to be lived.